Also, I'm freezing. My head is huge. All the blood has just rushed to my head. I'm gonna die out here. Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Richard with Everlasting Gaming, and welcome back to Heart of the Woods. We found some bright lights in the forest, as you can tell by her pointy little long finger over there. Something's out here. Holy crap. Friggin' Morgan didn't end up trying to kill us, which surprises the hell out of me, even though she has a talking cat, and we know she's damn well crazy. We're gonna find out what the hell is out there. This might be a whole X-Files thing. Let's find out together. There it is. Buoyed by her second wind, Tara runs off this time. This time, Morgan and I are close behind. We follow the light, which sometimes blinks out, but soon reappears. I'm too focused on not slipping and falling to give much thought as to the source. There's no telling how long or how far we've been going. Somehow the light never seems to be getting any closer or farther away. It's like it's running from us. Hey, wait up! Tara yells out into the darkness. If whatever it is can understand her, it ignores her. Running is quickly becoming difficult. My lungs burn from the cold, and my breathing turns ragged after barely a minute. God, I'm so fat. Ugh. Why did we eat so many chips before we came on this damn trip? Tara pulls further and further ahead from Morgan and me, her one-track mind fixated on that light. After a bit longer, I hit my limit, and my pace slows back to a walk, then a stop. I fold my hands on my knees as I gasp for breath. Morgan crunches to a stop just ahead too, turning back towards me. Are you alright? I try to respond, but I'm breathing too heavily to be able to talk. I just wave my hand, gesturing for Morgan to go on ahead without me, but she doesn't. Are you sure? I force myself to stand and nod. I'm fine. In the murk, Tara becomes a disembodied light herself. Only the flashlight's glow visible. I watch it bounce to a halt and slowly make its way back towards us. You guys give up too easily. How are you not dead? I haven't seen you run in years. That's because you never hit the gym with me. Ah, you are fat. It's bad. Totally ripping on Maddie. I don't know if she's joking or not, and I'm too worn out to care. So what was that thing? Do you think it was your forest spirit? Morgan's eyes widen. You believe me? Tara shrugs. I'm considering it, at least. I mean, what else could it have been? Fairies? Morgan says it nonchalantly. I side-eye Tara, who is very interested in her boots. Forest spirit doesn't really make a light like that. At least not that I'm aware of. Right? That makes sense. Doesn't it, Mads? It's probably someone from the village. But as I say it, I know how unlikely that is. The way the light seemed to always maintain a precise distance was unnatural. I can feel the seeds of doubt being sown in my heart. But it was definitely strange. I'm a big believer that there's something out there other than us, and just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. I think spirits and all that crap is very real. And by crap, I mean just stuff. I don't mean like in a negative way. Do you guys believe in that type of stuff? I know I do. Tell me in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. But it was definitely strange. Tara looks at me with more pride than a rainbow flag. Wow. Hey, holy shit. That's practically canon in Maddie terms. I roll my eyes, but it's partially just for show. I'm curious at the very least. I wouldn't call myself a believer as much as Tara wishes. But that's two strange things so far, which is two more than I expected when I boarded that train out here. It was strange. That's as much as I'll get. The yawn overtakes me in the middle of speaking. Just like that, you guys. You know, they say when one person yawns, it always spreads to the next, and we still don't know why, but just her saying that made me want to yawn. It doesn't help the pain in my lungs. Oh, I guess it's past your bedtime, huh? I literally, slept like a baby. I just woke up, 3 hours ago. I feel amazing. I woke up, I'm like, I can't wait to record for my peeps. I missed you guys. I kick some snow at her, and it bounces uselessly off her pants. With the way you've been bantering with each other, it really does feel a little bit more like old times. Make that 3 strange things on top of this trip so far. We should be heading back anyway. We can't go much further in before I'd be lost too. You still know where we are? Yes, of course. We'd be in trouble if not. She has a point. I got so caught up in chasing the light that I lost track of what direction we'd come from. I'll show you around more tomorrow. There's something you might like to see. Yeah, what is it? It's my murder cabin. I bring dozens of cats there every day. They all talk to me. I don't know why Morgan's voice is my favorite to do. Just no emotion. A surprise. We'll go tomorrow before it gets dark. It's a bit of a walk. It's the murder cabin. I'm telling you. Does it have to do with whatever light that was? I have no idea. It's possible. Story of my life. Hey. Friggin' fingers, man. Okay, well, we'll call it quits for tonight and pick it back up tomorrow. Yeah, I guess. That's fine by me. Great. She hops forward, then pauses. I guess you ought to lead the way. Morgan smiles as she does just that. It's a nice cabin. It takes us only 15 minutes or so to reach the cabin. We must have added a lot of time to our trip with all that wandering we did. Fuck. Morgan bids us farewell at the door, which I barely return before stumbling inside. I'm halfway out of my boots by the time Tara's inside. Guess you're not staying up late then, huh? I'm out like a light the second I hit the bed. She hasn't even she hasn't fallen asleep. Like, on the train, Tara slept this whole time. Maddie's just exhausted. Tara grins just briefly. Right? My hand is on the doorknob and Tara clears her throat. Hey, thank you for, chasing after that thing. I appreciate you playing along. My hand lingers on the door, poised to turn. Yeah, of course. Let's see what we find tomorrow. Right, yeah, right. Good night. Night. I quickly step in and shut the bedroom door before Tara can say anything else. As I switch off the lights and crawl into bed, I remember the end of the train right here. I felt the same just now. Standing there, not knowing what to say. Does that mean Tara was faking it? Just like, to create a little bit of suspense and all that for our show. It's kind of bogus, don't you think? What if Morgan really believed in this type of stuff? And I think she does. She's gonna murder us. Pretty sure. It would be so easy. I banish the thoughts from my mind and wrench my eyes shut. There'll be time to worry about it tomorrow. I have time to think. We have a month. As I slowly drift off to sleep, the exhaustion that I felt winning over the stress. The last thoughts I have of dancing lights are of dancing lights in the snow. Oh, so bright. Christ. Hey again, everyone. Tara's busy, so it's just me this time. Also, I'm freezing. My head is huge. All the blood has just rushed to my head. I'm gonna die out here. That's probably just as well, because at this point in the game, I'm keeping a pretty big secret from her. We've launched into the main plot by now, so I'll try to keep the summary brief. Long story short, I found a ghost and Tara doesn't know about it. Since she's busy investigating with Morgan, I'm taking some time to get to know the ghost girl on my own. I'll tell her eventually, I promise. It's just nice to have something that you can call yours sometimes, Well, since she's not doing this intro, I guess I have two things of my own now. I really am living the high life. With almost every step I take a glance behind me. I keep expecting to hear the crunch of snow, or a spot of red hair as Tara follows me, but there's nothing. I'm alone. I hurry through the woods practically on autopilot. Less than a week ago, I'd have never set foot in the forest on my own, but now I already have the path to the clearing memorized. It gives me extra time to worry. What am I even doing? Everything about this situation is extremely not me. Heading off on my own into the dark forest without telling anyone to go meet up with a ghost. Even thinking the word ghost still makes my heart lurch. I've seen her with my own eyes, yet I still have trouble believing it. I'm just trusting that she's not going to lead me to her lair and suck out my soul or something like that. I feel like Gretel. I'm not even cautious enough to leave a breadcrumb trail. Hansel and Gretel, yes. Dude, if I ran into a candy house in the middle of a forest, it would be gone. Wouldn't matter if it was covered in bird shit. It's a fucking candy house. I would eat the whole thing. But still, I keep walking. There's something exciting in being on my own and doing something without Tara. I can't remember the last time I had a secret from her. At least not a big one. Not telling her about the ghost girl feels a little bit like rebellion. I feel like I deserve something exciting that's all my own. She and Morgan can go do whatever. I doubt Tara will even notice I'm not around. And even if she does, it's something that she needs to get used to. I've tried to show her how to cut a video or frame a shot lots of times. It's her own fault if she still doesn't get it. Just like it's her own fault that she's missing out now. As I approach the clearing, I slow down a little. Sorry, itchy ear. My usual trepidation overtakes me once again as I contemplate just how reckless this is. There's absolutely no guarantee that the ghost girl isn't dangerous, that I'll walk out of these woods alive. Normally, I'd chastise Tara for following her gut instinct, which dictates probably 70% of her decisions. Yeah, that's all I have to go off right now. That feeling that I'm safe with the ghost girl, that she won't harm me. I cross the threshold of trees and into the clearing. Just like the other times, it's serenely quiet. Even my past footsteps are gone, erased by the wind or snowfall. I'm here. Somehow I feel like she already knows. The forest swallows my words, returning to frozen, pristine silence. Hello, ghost girl, aren't you adorable? Your eyes are so green and pretty. Soundlessly, she steps out from behind a tree. A small smile sits on her face, though her eyes are slightly downcast. She waves, meeting my eyes for just a moment before glancing away. Hi there. My words hang still in the air. Were you waiting for me? We lock eyes again as she nods, quickly, earnestly. I hope it wasn't for too long. She shakes her head and then she laughs. I'm not sure what the joke is about, though. What? What's so funny? When she catches her breath, she bites her lip as she ponders. After a moment, she shrugs, looking apologetic. I accidentally killed all your friends. Ghost girls. I guess explaining a joke through gestures would be very difficult. She sidles up next to me as I fight the urge to step back, though I've decided to trust her. My instincts still believe my nerves. Sorry. But what seems to be most interested is in the bag slung over my shoulder. She simulates opening the bag to see if she can see into it. Nosy, huh? Immediately, she backsteps, waving her hands in a frantic, apologetic motion. Sorry, I was just kidding. You can look. She regards me with a timid deer, as I hold the bag open for her to see. Inside are a couple of books that I picked up in the village this morning. I hold up the first one, small, square, baby blue. I get a really strange look from the person who runs the bookstore because of this one. It's a book of baby names, oh god. Her eyes go wide and she grasps at her belly then points at me. It takes me a second to understand what she means, and for some reason, I feel my face flush. No, I'm not pregnant. I thought maybe you could use it to show me your name. If it's a name, that would be. Before I finish my sentence, she zoomed back over me, all sense of personal space once again disregarded. She clasps her hands, a fiery look in her eyes, and hops up and down. Frankly, it's adorable. Guess you're a fan. Okay, cool. She eyes the book hungrily. She must be really excited to share her name with me. It's a little exciting for me, too. It's nice to see someone so excited about being with me. I fight to keep an overzealous grin off my face. Okay, let's see. I look around, aside from trees and snow. There isn't much to see. I wonder if there's something about this place in particular that the girl likes. Is there somewhere nearby where we could sit down? It feels a little weird to just keep standing. Finger on her chin, she ponders. Then she turns and points towards the woods, even further in. I can tell from the look in her eyes that she's uncertain. I swallow a lump in my throat. I've come this far after all. Sure, that's fine. Lead the way. She does so, but never gets too far from my side. Every few steps, she glances over at me as if making sure I'm still here. It feels a little backwards to me, but in a nice way. I don't really feel compelled to break the silence either. Of course, part of that is because any conversation would be one-sided. But also, she looks content, like she's just happy to be here. I am too. The silence doesn't feel vast and overwhelming, like it does with Tara. It feels warm. There's definitely a resentfulness between Maddie and Tara. You guys notice that? Before too long, I realize what our destination is. This is nearly the same path that Morgan took us down just a couple desks ago. I recognize some of the more grotesquely warped trees. We're going to that church? Eyes wide, she nods, probably surprised that I know of it. One of the villagers showed it to us a few days ago. Me and my friend. Feels weird to just call Tara my friend. Usually if I'm talking to someone about Tara, they've met her. The girl just nods yet again. As we reach the edge of the trees and the church comes into sight, I look around for traces of the monster we saw days before. There are none to be seen. No snapped or snap-toppled trees. No footsteps as deep as I am tall. Much like the girls beside me, there are no trace of its existence. I look over to the door of the church, where she's patiently waiting for me. Is there a monster, or is she talking about the lights? Because we didn't see a monster. That's not good. The Blair Witch is out here, you guys. Once again, I fight back all my fears and hesitations and head for that door, too. It's too late to turn back now. Oh god, we're in a church with a ghost girl. This can only end well. The door is slightly ajar from our visits days ago. A thin trail of snow ponders the entryway, but otherwise the church is dry. It's still unnaturally warm. I wonder if that has to do with the girl, too. From the way she walks, I can tell she's familiar with the place. Don't they say that ghosts, suck energy and heat out of places? I'm surprised about that. I watch a lot of ghost shows. I'm a big fan of, horror and supernatural and stuff like that. I think it's amazing. I think if you can induce such a strong emotion as in fear, in whatever art you convey or you create, then you're very talented, because that's a really strong emotion. So that's why I think horror is awesome. She heads to the front, stopping just shy of the altar, where she turns around to face me. Being back here is a little unnerving, and I slowly approach her. Mind you guys, since this game is in development, that's why we're not seeing, these little parts she's mentioning, oh, we're back here. Oh, there was a monster. But what they did, if you remember, for those of you who weren't here from the beginning, for the little parts that they are not done developing, they've added those little chibis that you saw. So, just to fill in the gaps, which is adorable, and I love it. But that's why you're seeing these little jumps. But she hasn't given me any reason to be suspicious. The image of those monstrous eyes is ingrained in my memory. Yeah, there was a monster. Holy crap. But this time, there's no howling wind or earth-shaking footsteps. Just the one girl waiting patiently. That's terrifying. I can't wait to see it. I give her a smile as I sit down in one of the paws near the front. It's hewn from stone, smooth, and rigid. She takes a seat beside me. Normally, being this close to strangers makes me uncomfortable, but with her, I don't really mind. Part of it, of course, is the fact that I can't feel her at all. But the other part is that it feels kind of pleasant to sit together like this. That's kind of scary. There's a giant chunk out of the wall over here. I hesitantly push that thought out of my head, hastily, sorry. She is a ghost. She's literally transparent and insubstantial. I rummage through the bag and grab a book of baby names. Okay, so first. She bounces up and down with anticipation as I tear off the plastic cling wrap and stuff it in the tote bag. This is the first letter early in the alphabet. She nods and holds up one finger. I? L? 2 shakes of her head. She touches her index fingers together and then uses her middle finger to cross between them. H. Oh, an A. Oh, sorry. Wow. H. I'm Helena. Enthusiastic nodding. I flip to the first couple pages of the book, right in the middle of the A's. First name I spot is Amber. Impatiently, she leans over me and motions to go further back, towards the start. I turn the pages slowly, giving her time to scan. On the very first page, she holds out a hand to stop and points. She's practically hanging over my shoulder to show me. Abigail, of course. What a typical, middle of nowhere, old-fashioned society name. Good old Abigail. Your name is Abigail. She gives me the biggest, most radiant grin I've ever seen as she nods. Her joy is infectious, and I can't help but smile, too. That's actually really smart to grab a baby book full of names. If you guys ever go ghost hunting, there's your lesson from Maddie for the day. Abigail. I repeat it, and she looks even more joyful. A beam of light breaks through the glass window, illuminating dust motes that make it look as if she's sparkling. We lock eyes, and I feel my breath catch in my throat. The look in her eyes, pure, unadulterated happiness. It's something I've never seen before. They shine with tears, the good kind. The kind that bring out the color of her eyes, the radiant kind. I didn't know I could make someone happy like this. I quickly look away back to the now irrelevant book in my lap. Anyway, Abigail, I had a couple questions. Is that okay? Abigail nods. So maybe this is rude to ask, but are you a ghost or are you something else? Should probably stick to the yes or no questions. Abigail closes her eyes and with a sad smile nods. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what the appropriate response to something like that is. Then are you from Eisenfeld? She nods. That's a yes. Do you know a girl from there called Morgan? She shakes her head. That makes sense. I'm sure Morgan would have mentioned her before, if so. So have you been like a ghost for a long time? I cringe a little as I ask. It seems gouch, although I'm not entirely sure what proper etiquette is for this kind of conversation. In answer to my question, she nods again. Do you know how long? A shrug. She holds up one finger, then two fists. 100 years? 100? Another shrug and a nod. Damn, she's old. Also, look at what she's wearing. This kind of looks like a nightgown from way back then. Maybe 1800s, maybe even early 17 or late 1700s. You know, she's got like the little collar right here and the little ribbon. It makes sense. 100 years. I murmur to myself in slight disbelief. It could be more. I doubt she's been keeping track of every day. The world out there, the world I come from, might as well be another planet for her. I'm sorry. It's incomprehensible to me. I can't fathom that much time passing. Unable to talk to anyone? How lonely that must be. She closes her eyes yet again, though I've been interpreting her silence as serene. I wonder if that's how she feels. These yes or no questions are practically the extent of what I can ask her. There's still such a gulf between who she is and what I know of her. Centuries worth of solitude. In all that time, have you ever spent time like this with someone else? Without opening her eyes or looking at me, she shakes her head again. I'm the only one? That's a yes. I fall silent too, my head still reeling. There's so many things I want to ask and want to know. How did she die? Why did her spirit stick around? Did she know about the thing we saw in the snow? Also, what did we see in the snow? I'm terrified to see this thing. Why am I the first person she's shown herself to? There's no way she could answer. Even if she could, I wonder if she'd want to. Is it impolite to remind a ghost that they're dead? It's morbidly funny to me that there are questions I have to ask myself. Tara would love this. Tara would. I pushed that thought out of my head too. Tara's not here right now. It's just me and Abigail. Would you like me to read that other book? Her grin returns, the moment of melancholy dispelled. Seems I made the right call in changing the subject. I show her the cover before I crack it open, enjoying the new book smell. I love new book smell. This is a book I read a lot when I was younger. It's about a girl who wants to be a hero, so she goes on a quest with her best friend to prove herself. Oh, oops. I was like, why are we going to the save screen? No, it's getting good. It's a little childish, I guess. Maybe you'd like it. Abigail claps her hands and nods. I have a feeling I can read the dictionary to her and she'd be satisfied, but I don't mention that. Okay. I smooth the crease and open to the first page. Once upon a time, it's a story that I could probably recite by heart. My mom used to read it to me when I was a little girl, and it was one of the books that I used to learn to read. I was both surprised and excited to see there was a copy in Eisenfeld's bookstore. I settled into an easy cadence of reading, though I'm not used to reading out loud. It starts to feel pretty natural after only a couple pages. Like my mom used to do, I give all the characters different voices. I don't have quite the range that Mom does, but Abigail seems to enjoy it all the same. She smiles and laughs in all the right places. Makes my heart warm to see how much she's enjoying it. Her eyes are closed yet again, but she looks quite content. Aw, she's sleeping. As we finish chapter 2, Abigail scoots a bit closer and rests her head near my shoulder. I pause mid-sentence, surprised, but resume just a second later. Though I can't feel her there, the sentiment is clear. I keep reading. Sometimes when I glance down, I can see that her eyes are open reading along. Her lips mouth the same words as I am. One time she catches me looking and blushes, but I just smile and continue going. After we finish chapter 4, I finally pause. My mouth is dry and my jaw is starting to hurt a little bit. I must have been reading aloud for close to an hour. Even though I stop, Abigail doesn't sit up or open her eyes. Her hand rests on my arm, and I set the book aside. Do ghosts need to sleep? I was thinking that too. That's another question I can ask, but maybe at a different time. Right now I'm happy to let her pretend. Quietly I hum a song, something from a radio. A title I can't remember, but that's always stuck in my head. I'm extremely off-key, sure, but I don't care. It just feels right. When I stop, she finally opens her eyes and sits back up. As we gaze at each other, she mouths two words that I don't have to be good at, reading lips decipher. Thank you. No problem. I hope you like the story. First she claps and then places one hand over her heart. I laugh, flattered but also a little bit embarrassed. I think that's all I can do today, but we should read more sometime. If you want to, I mean. I already know the answer, but she gives me an empathetic nod all the same. Okay. It's a promise. She touches her heart again and I smile. I should probably head back to the cabin soon. People will start to get suspicious if I'm gone for too long. Abigail cocks her head like an owl, curious. I haven't told my friends about you yet. Sort of like our secret, I guess. And I want to keep it that way for a little while longer. She smiles in agreement. Oh, the Chibis are back. Alright, I think this is a good place to stop, is that a... Look at us, you guys. We made an adorable new friend in a ghost girl. This is pretty much just like Ghost, where we fall in love doing pottery and crap. And it's so great. I'm so excited for us. I want to know what you guys think. There's so much mystery around her. Do you think Abigail was killed by that monster? Do you think she's just a lonely girl? What do you think happened? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is this monster? Like, is it like Morgan, you know, with her demon cat becoming this disgusting demonic cat demon thing? I want to know what you guys think. I want to hear from you in the comments below. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I know I'm having fun. If you guys like new and exciting gaming videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every time I post. I post every day. Alright you guys, hey, it's been a blast. I hope you're having fun. I'm Richard with Everlasting Gaming, and as always, have a good night.